that the right people will feel empowered by your clarity and the wrong ones will feel offended by your confidence.
100%.
And I feel like that is so good. That is a Michaela original, and I'm really proud of that one.
We're your hosts, Sahara Embry
and Michaela Bedoyan. From working corporate 9-to-5s to running $1 million companies,
we're bringing you the inside scoop of what it takes to start and scale your business.
We're keeping things real, raw, and unfiltered. This is the
Rise and Refine podcast. Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome back to the Rise and Refine podcast.
Yes. Where's your good morning?
Good morning. Good morning,
yes,
y'all.
Good morning. We have such a great topic for you guys today because it's something that I think people are too scared to talk about.
It's going to be like a big sister talk.
Yeah, big sister talk here. But that is letting go of being liked.
This one is for the founder who's done shape-shifting and trying to fit into every single hole that everybody else has created for them.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about...
Well, let's talk about first why that's a common thing now, being liked. Like why people feel like they need to be liked. And I think it really comes with social media. I mean, first thing you do when you see somebody's post is you like it.
Yep.
And then the first reaction and the feeling you get when somebody likes your post is, oh, they liked my post.
It's a dopamine hit.
It's naturally what we are taught and trained to do without realizing it is that we are supposed to be liked and we're supposed to make decisions on how people will perceive them.
Right.
And it's just naturally something that we're taught nowadays.
Well, I mean, as you're growing up as a kid, you want to have friends. You want to be liked. You want to be in certain circles. If you're on sports teams, you have to be good. You have to be liked by the coach in order to play. You know, like things like that, as silly as it is, like there's politics in sports when you're growing up, especially if you're in club, and like trying to be liked by everyone basically waters down what actually makes you magnetic, what draws people in, what makes people attracted to you, whether that's your voice, your personality, your point of view, your boundaries, whatever that is. So you can't just build a bold brand from a place of constant self-editing. And self-editing means you're trying to fit into every other box that everybody else has either put you in or created for you.
Which isn't fair because not everyone has the same box.
No, because you're not going to stand out.
No.
And it's just playing it safe.
Yeah, you're setting unrealistic expectations for yourself and disappointment for yourself because there is no one box fits all.
No, not at all. And when you are invited into a room that you don't think you should be in, nobody in that room has what you have. Nobody is you. So what are you bringing into that room that one makes you unique, whether that's a characteristic, whether that is a viewpoint, whether that is a product that you have or a service that you're offering? What can you do in that room to add value? That's what you need to be focusing in on, not how do you fit in to that room.
How am I going to be perceived? What are people going to think? Are they going to like me? And we say this, but this is one of the toughest things to get into the mindset of. And I understand that because being liked is naturally our safe space, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's what makes us feel comfortable. When someone dislikes us, we're like, what did we do? Like, why? And you question everything.
I joke all the time about how I'm a recovering people pleaser. We all are at some point. And I think it's just so easy to fall into that
rhythm of getting the likes, of people getting the comments. I mean, it feels nice when someone's like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like, you're amazing. Like, that feels
searching for the validation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so where we're really going with this is that growth demands clarity, especially as a business owner, and clarity always comes with contrast. You're not going to be able to be the same as everybody else. If you're scrolling on Instagram, are you standing out? Is your brand standing out? What are you just blending into what
everybody else is doing?
What everybody else is doing, or do you have a voice?
Yeah.
And the moral of the story is you do, but you have to get out of your own head and let yourself stand on your own 2 feet and say, like, I have something to say and I have a story that deserves to be told. Give yourself the platform to be able to do that and stop placing limits on yourself.
100%. And it's natural too. Like when you see somebody else, whether they post something and you see the validation and the positivity they get from that, you know, it's going to sway you to be more similar to that and be perceived that same way.
Yes.
That's what's so hard about this is because you have to be self-aware of that and understand how you're different and what you do matters too. And it's okay if somebody doesn't like you, especially as a business owner. You have to sometimes have very hard conversations with clients, with team members,
Yeah.
where they may not like what you say.
Yeah.
And they may not like you for that moment, but you can't base what you need to say to them or the conversations you need to have with them because you're nervous about if they're going to
What they're
like you
going to,
anymore, what
yeah,
they're going to think of you now.
right. How they're going to
Like,
perceive
yeah,
you.
being a business owner is being strong in the decisions you make and not having to constantly worry about, well, what is everyone going to think of me? Right? Did I wear the right outfit today? Did I do my hair? Sometimes I come up in this office and like yesterday I got rained on and my hair looked like a frizz ball. I was like, I don't care. I gotta get to the office and get stuff done. You
Yeah.
can't constantly be thinking of what others are going to think of you.
Yeah. And going a little bit deeper than just like the physical appearance, you know, I was told all the time, and if you've heard some of our story, if you've
Mhm.
listened to like the first season of the podcast, you've heard me share this, but I was told all the time as a kid that I was shy or shyer than my sister. And
Mhm.
so growing up, I always thought I was shy. I would say like, oh, I'm just shy. I don't want to do that. I'm really shy.
Yeah.
And I started placing this limiting belief on myself.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where so many people had spoke it over me that I believed it. But I got to a point where I wasn't happy with that.
Yeah.
And so I decided to take that thought captive and change it and hold myself accountable and take responsibility for my own life and that very thought that's saying, no, you're shy, you can't be this, you can't do that. Like you can't get on social media, you can't run a social media forward business. Like that's not Michaela, that's not you. And even after we started to refine, I had people in my own
Mhm.
personal circle tell me that. I
Yeah.
had people speak that over me, and I was like, no, heck no. And
Yeah.
so I decided to, it took a lot of work. It took me sitting in my closet, practicing voiceovers, practicing getting on stories. I am by no means perfect at it. I have so many drafts in my camera roll right now of me messing up, trying to just film a simple 30-second story. But the fact is, I got over it. And now I'm sitting with Sahara looking at 3 cameras right
In a
now
fishbowl.
in a fishbowl, which is like we're in a podcast room where it has this huge glass door over to our left where people for a crew can just walk by and see us and stop and say hi. And it's terrifying for me because it's so outside my comfort zone and I don't like it. But at the end of the day, it's just a reminder to me of how much I was able to overcome by taking that limiting belief or limiting thought captive and rewriting my story with it. And
Yeah.
so just like a personal note, kind of making this more relatable for somebody that's like, I don't really know how to relate this to myself. That's something that I had to overcome with
Mhm.
Refined. I'm still, like I said, by no means perfect. I'm still
Mhm.
working through things every single day when it comes to letting go of being liked. But that's just something that
Yeah.
came to the forefront for me
Well, if you're
personally.
constantly thinking about being liked, you're going to be your not authentic self at
Yeah.
all. You're going to always be thinking of what others think, and you just can't care that. Like you, whether you have 5 followers, 500,000 followers, like, you know, you need to be mindful of others and respect others, but you need to be confident in yourself with what you believe in, what you say, how you are, the decisions you make. And that's going to make you a stronger business owner at the end of the day.
And it's easy for us to sit here with mics
No, it's,
staring at
yeah.
a camera and say, be confident. But it's like,
Doesn't
you
mean we're
have
like that
to,
every day.
no, you have to take those small steps every single day. You have to choose to show up. You
Yeah.
have to choose to post the story. You have to choose to get out of your comfort zone in business, in life, in your personal life,
Yeah.
with a friendship, whatever that looks like for you. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you are your own brand.
Yes.
Like, yes, we have Refined. Yes, she has Crew. Yes, she has Embry Group. Yes, she has Venture Haven. She has these other brands, and we understand that. But you also have an influence.
Yeah.
You hold an influence over people, whether you like to think it or not.
With
Whether you,
everybody that you meet every single day.
well, right. And if you are for everyone or you're trying to be for everyone, you're going to be for no one.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's such a strong point because it's so easy to want to blend in when there's so many opportunities out there. But if you take one that you're so passionate about, you know that what you can speak on, Maybe it's a belief that you're really honing in
Mhm.
on. Maybe it's, I don't know, a point of view or a message that you want to share. And that is your why. That's your
Yeah.
driving factor. That's the boiling point for you. Build everything around that. And then at the end of the day, you always have something to go back on when somebody is trying to fit you into a hole. It's like,
Mhm.
no, I've stood on my own 2 feet. I
Yeah.
have this platform. I know what you don't always know what you're doing, but like
Yeah.
you have your reason behind doing it.
Yeah. If you constantly are thinking about being liked and trying to fit that and dig that hole and trying to fit the mold of what everybody else expects, I promise you, you will end up not happy
Yeah.
because now you won't even know yourself, what you like, who you are, because you let everybody else dictate that. And
Yeah.
that's a big, big thing. Like, like it doesn't mean that we can say this and tomorrow you can wake up and be like, I don't care anymore. No, every day we still struggle with that, right? It's very important.
Yeah.
But also be self aware. An example I use is this is something that takes work and also strategy and a commitment. And when I say that, an example I always use is a lot of people are like, how do you just like post on social media? Like, how do you do these videos? And I'm like, well, because I'm self aware that if I sit there and watch myself after we record something for Embry Group, that I will pick it apart. So I've learned that I'm much more confident and better when I don't watch when my marketing girls like record a video and I
Mm.
don't sit there and I don't watch them anymore
Yeah.
because it made me pick myself apart by past comments, right? And
Mm.
so now I'm like, I tell my marketing girls, did we get the clip? Did we get it? Are we good? They're like, yeah, we got it. If they need it re-edit it because something messed up, they'll tell me. If I look terrible, they're like, no, we don't need to post this. They'll tell me. But if I ask to rewatch it, I'll never post it. And
Yeah.
that's a big, big thing is be self-aware of when you get in those mindsets, making sure that you're not sitting there, well, people like this.
Be overcritical.
Part of like not being scared of not being liked is also the opposite of that,
Yes.
where you have to, just because someone's giving you negative feedback doesn't mean they don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, no, maybe they love
Exactly.
you and that's why they're giving you negative feedback.
Negative feedback is always going to feel personal, especially when you care. I mean, I feel like all of us, for the most part, are very caring people, but
Yeah.
there's a point in your business where you have to grow a backbone. I think you can have thick skin and still have a soft heart. I think that sometimes those two get very easily misconstrued where you have thick skin means you don't feel.
Yeah.
I think you can feel, but you allow yourself to be able to control your emotions when
Yeah.
you have thick
Yeah.
skin. But feedback, especially when it's negative or especially when it's like really, really tough love, it's not always about you.
No.
Sometimes it's
And people
actually about
perceive
the
it about them.
customer.
Yeah.
Yes, or the client.
Yeah.
Yes. And so there's actually 3 different types
Yeah.
of feedback. Negative feedback, well, I guess it could be negative, but 3 different types of feedback. And I think that this isn't talked about enough
Mm-hmm.
because I've always learned you have your constructive feedback and then you have like your critical feedback, almost like criticism.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a third type. So you have your constructive, it's something that you can learn from. It's you have dismissive, so it's something that you can actually let go of,
Mm-hmm.
probably. And you have just something that's said that's just straight cruel. It's mean, it's nasty.
They probably
and,
said it because they didn't like you and you should not care.
and they're probably projecting something that they don't like in themselves onto you. And that's
Yeah.
something that it's not yours to carry.
Yeah.
Just let it go in one ear and out the other. They probably just needed to get it off their chest. And that's where you really, truly have to be the bigger person and not let your emotions take over and just
Yeah.
let it go.
I hate that about our world nowadays too, especially with like social media. It's like,
So many things
who
are
are you to
misconstrued.
comment
Yeah.
something negative on somebody you don't even know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to say that? Like, no, why don't you go post? Why don't you go post 10 videos? Why don't you get a negative comment
We
and
have
see
so
how you
many
handle
keyboard
it?
warriors nowadays. What happened to the old saying of like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all?
And that should still be true because guess what? You don't know that
Like, where did
person
that
in
go?
real life.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. So, for those of you who are posting and getting those negative comments, there at least you're posting.
And
Like,
honestly, it's
they're
free
just,
engagement.
yeah.
It's free engagement.
Yeah. Like,
Let
literally.
it ride.
we posted the Space Command video,
Yep.
because we're excited, like Space Command coming to Huntsville. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna bring so much into the
yes,
Huntsville
yeah. And
area.
it got like 50,000 views on Instagram. And there's a lot of like hate comments on it. I'm like, okay, I don't care.
Thank you for
Thank you.
boosting.
You keep
Yeah.
getting us more views and we're getting positive comments too. Like it
Right.
doesn't bother us. But
Right.
like don't ever let somebody's negative comment of whatever they want to say about you ever make you stop doing what you love.
Yeah.
Because I promise you right now, laugh it off and move on, which is hard to I know that's tough to
Yeah.
do because people take things to heart, but like also, for those of you who post negative comments, like, why don't you go do it yourself? Why don't you go post and see how you handle the feedback? Because I just don't get people who do that.
Mm.
I've never once,
Preach.
I've never once ever commented something negative on anybody's. Like, why do people do it? I
don't
really
know.
don't understand it.
You have to have some serious audacity to be able to do that and
Yeah.
sleep at night. I don't know.
Yeah.
But instead of asking yourself, like, why don't they like me?
Yeah.
What is it about me that's doing like why is it something that I said? Is it what I'm wearing? Is it, and sometimes they'll just flat out tell you. But instead of viewing it from that point of view, look at it and from an angle of, is this actually true?
hmm
Is it useful for me? Or is this just noise and I need to let it go?
Or just don't read it and move on because it
Yeah.
really does not matter.
Yeah.
Right? You should be taking feedback from people who are in your circle, who know you outside of online, who know
Yeah.
you in real life, who know the heart that you have. Those are the people you should be asking for feedback from. And when they give you feedback, listen.
Yeah.
Right? It's really important. When I used to get feedback from anyone, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not perfect. They don't like me." And I took it really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do need to be doing that.
Yeah.
And I take it a lot better, which is hard for people to do. But those people who, like, if Michaela gave me feedback today, I would listen, right? And vice versa.
Right.
But if somebody who I just met on like the street or at a cafe, if they came up to me and said something negative, I'm probably not going to listen because they don't know me.
No, exactly. And I just literally sat through Sahara meeting with 3 of her top leaders in her companies. And they were walking through a podcast that they had listened to. She had prepared questions. She had sent them over to them. And one of them was, what are you failing at right now? And then, or what can you improve on? And what is something that you're doing really, really well in? And it was so interesting to hear from my perspective,
Mhm.
to hear the comments because everybody could think of what they were failing at, but including myself, but nobody could really pinpoint immediately. It wasn't immediate of what they were doing well.
Because we're so used to feedback.
Because we are,
leaders,
exactly, we're so
yeah.
used to hearing the
Mhm.
negative or hearing the failure, hearing what's that next thing is, because I mean, we're told it every single day, or it's pointed out every single day.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
not from like each other, but just
Yeah.
from you have to become self-aware.
You do, and they're really good at that now.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
and they know when we're in a room together, we're all comfortable to talk about what we're failing at because we truly want to hear other people's advice.
Yes.
Because we know the people in that room respect us and love us, that they come to those meetings with, here's where I'm just really sucking right now. Can somebody help me?
Yeah.
And that's what they want to talk about because they crave that feedback from people who respect them.
Right.
It's a whole different mindset.
It is, but it also goes back in a way to being liked because they want to perform in a
Yes.
certain way.
Yeah.
And the fact that none of us, and this is a note for me too, of
Yeah.
like none of us could really pinpoint immediately those things that we were doing well
Yeah.
at. It's like, okay, I had to, take account of that and be like, okay, I maybe need to rethink my own
Mhm.
thoughts and, actually analyze and look
Yeah.
through and see of like, all right, why am I holding such a negative view of the work
Yeah,
that
you
we're
have to
doing right
speak
now?
positive to
Oh, yeah,
yourself.
most
And you have to be
definitely.
confident too and not be scared to say, this is what I'm amazing at right now. I've got this
Yeah.
down. You should always be confident in yourself with what you're saying. And I think that's why it's so
I think
good.
that's so difficult though,
It is
because
difficult.
we live in such a digital world.
Mhm.
Everything is on the screen. Everything is instantaneous. and we have access to the bad and the good, but
Yep.
the bad is a lot more readily available. It's in your face every single day. It's what the
Yeah.
news is putting out there.
Yeah.
So you have to choose to see the good,
Yeah.
and you have to choose to think positive
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. You have to choose to, if something negative comes into your mind, you have to choose to take that thought captive and
Yep.
switch it around. And so I just want to reiterate, like, you're not in this alone either. Like, we're still working through that. And
Yeah.
just from that one
Yeah.
example, you can see, like, it's
Yeah.
not perfect in this. We're
No.
just growing and learning as we
Yeah.
go.
But I'd much rather be in a room filled of people who struggle to say also what they're good at, because that means they're self aware and they sit there and they are okay with saying where they're
Yes.
failing, than being in a room of nobody who can think of where they're sucking at life right now, where they're failing.
Yeah.
Because I've been in rooms with people like that. It's like, well, I know you're not perfect. Can you just be honest? That would
Yeah.
make me feel better as a person if you were honest and made it seem like you weren't perfect. So I love that we're constantly in a room filled with self-awareness, and that we have no issue. Like you saw my ops manager say, this is where I think you could do better right now,
Right.
Sahara. And
Exactly.
I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I can. But it's good to be in a room like that and to really listen, but you have to be so open to others' feedback.
And that is the power of who you surround yourself with. Cultivating a community that honors
Mm-hmm.
and really respects the vulnerability and the transparency of that partnership and
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like. Because if you're surrounding yourself with Debbie Downers, with negative people, with people that are just constantly speaking down to you or placing those
Yeah.
limiting beliefs on you, it's that's
Yeah.
inevitably who you're going to become, how
Yeah.
you're going to sound like, how people are going to perceive you. So if that's you and you feel stuck in that kind of environment, work on finding
Yeah.
yourself a new group. Maybe
Yes.
go out and look for an entrepreneurial group. Go to networking events, put yourself out there, put yourself out of your comfort zone, and try to find and create a new sphere of influence, because
Yeah.
it is so
100%.
important. So kind of continuing on, jumping ahead here, setting boundaries in business and marketing with this. So this is where, being liked, it's we're all innately human. We all want to be liked by everybody. When you are running a business, that is just not possible. You are going to have clients who are frustrated with you. You're going to have moments where you fall flat, where you fall short.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be things that slip through the cracks. It's all part of growing and learning and how to build a business.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's no real playbook for this. Nobody is born with just I mean, I think that certain people are born with an entrepreneurial spirit, and I think that is very influential in how successful you can be in running a business. But I don't think that, and everybody just knows how to do it, and it just happens overnight. That's not the truth. There is no such
Yes.
thing as an overnight success.
No,
So
100% not. Everybody who's successful has a story and they worked for it.
yes,
And so it's so hard to not get in that jealous being like stage when you're new, because you want to be where somebody is.
yeah,
But it's so important to just, hold yourself accountable and be like, no, like just breathe a little bit. It's okay. You'll get there too. Just breathe.
exactly. But this is where we want to kind of give you guys permission,
Yes.
permission to say no without the guilt, permission to not reply immediately. If you have seen something that makes you feel a certain way, cultivates an emotion of anger, of sadness, of frustration, of lust, of kind of keeping up with the Joneses, like, take a second.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to respond immediately to that, or you don't even have to respond at all sometimes.
Yep.
You can charge more without justifying why you're charging more. If you have set up your processes, your systems, your business for success, if you have shown through your client work, through your portfolio, that you have the meat and potatoes there to serve your clients well, why are you justifying, like, I need more money, I can't survive in
Mm-hmm.
this climate? No, just up your prices.
Yeah.
And own it.
Yep.
Own that. Take responsibility
Yep.
for that
100%.
in your business.
100%. All right. You want to?
There's one more.
Okay.
This is a big one.
Okay.
And I want
What's
to touch
this
on
last
it
one?
because this has happened a lot for me here not recently, but just as we've grown and refined. When we first started Refined, I feel like we just kind of followed anybody and everybody. There's been a time where I have found myself comparing to
Mm-hmm.
other accounts, or we've received a message and it's just been like rude. And it's just,
Really?
yes.
Well, I want to
It's
hear a rude
typically,
message.
I don't remember them, but I remember blocking these people.
Oh.
They're men, and
Oh, it's always the men.
they were commenting on like what we were wearing or how we were presenting ourselves or,
Really?
oh yeah.
You'll have to send me these. I think that I like them. They're funny.
I'd have to go back, but it was all within our first year of Refined.
Oh.
But that was when I realized that as a business, you have the right to unsubscribe. You have the right to unfollow. You have the right to like unpeople please.
I tell my marketing team, you have full permission to respond sassy in a fun way to these people.
Yes.
We had some guy comment on one of these things, and he was another realtor, and he commented on one of our videos. It was a funny video we do, and he was like, "This is why clients should use like commercial brokers or legit real estate agents because we actually work hard. We don't post on videos like this." And I responded back, and I said, I was feeling sassy that day. I responded back with something like, to almost 200 million in sales this year speaks for itself, and the fact
Yeah.
that we can be fun and still work our ass off. And I said something like that, but put in our stats, and I don't think he ever said anything else. I didn't check, but it is fun to respond sassy to them because it's like, you don't know me. You don't
No.
know us. You don't know how hard we work. Like, go ahead and make your comments, and I'll leave it there for people to see. And it used to bother me more. One time, it's always the men.
It really is.
One time, I had this other realtor who responded to me and sent me a private DM, and he said, "Why do you always post about how successful you are? Like something like, why do you post about your numbers or something like that? Like nobody," he said something like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like nobody cares or doubt you're doing actually that well. I hid his name and posted his message publicly.
Oh my God.
And I said, I love it when I get these because you don't know anything. And maybe you could look into the mirror and work on your own business versus always focusing on mine. And I posted
There
it
you go.
publicly. He immediately unfollowed me. I didn't even block him. I posted it publicly so he could see it because it's like, I don't do that anymore. But I'm like, who are you?
Yeah. Well, and that just goes to show how confident Sahara is in her businesses because she's able to stand up and say, here's my numbers.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
Yeah, don't come at me.
But if you crumble under that and you're seeing that and you're like, oh, woe is me, da da da. No.
It's never you, I promise. Even if you don't have the numbers yet, like, who cares? Like, I don't ever post on my personal TikTok, but I decided to randomly do it just to have fun over the weekend. I got like 80 people on there. I don't care.
Right.
I just did it to have fun. Like,
Yes.
I really you cannot care. I'm not going to waste my time thinking about what others say about me if they don't know me.
You know what my greatest fear is?
What?
And it's my greatest fear now because it happened to me 3 years after college.
What is it?
Waking up 3-5 years later from now and still being in the same position I am because I didn't take the action I knew I needed to take now.
Yeah, because you were scared.
Because I was scared.
Somebody put that mindset belief on you.
Well, I was living in it. I was in the relationship that told me I needed to be a certain way.
Yeah, and you listened to them. The only opinion that matters is your own, how you view yourself and the people around you that are closest.
Exactly.
It's a good reminder.
Thanks.
It's a good reminder.
Took me about 5 years to get there, but
hey, you still have your moments, though. Like you may feel like that again in 6 months from now.
What was my most recent moment to humble me and to share with them? I feel like you hear most of them. Casey hears the most.
I think for you compare yourself a lot to me.
Yeah.
You do because you're around me so much.
Yeah.
Or you compare yourself to where you're at in life to others. Yeah. But I think that's why I sent you that podcast because I think you have to be reminded that one, age doesn't matter, you know? Like she didn't find her dream till 42 or she wasn't successful till that age or not happy till that age. But I think for you, you just think you should be somewhere and you put that, nobody's telling you you should.
No. But y'all have to understand that Sahara and her lifestyle it in and of itself is just like, it builds my own dream because I see it every single day.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get to see all of the outs and ins.
Well, I just don't post about it.
No, you don't. No,
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's for a reason too.
Yeah.
But that also, just going back to that, is like your circle of influence, your sphere of influence. If you are the smartest person in the room, the most influential on social media or whatever it might be, the one that makes the most money in the room, find a new room, because you're capping your own growth. And that is exactly why I surround myself with her. And that is, I don't know how I got so lucky to have a business partner like Sahara, not just like
but I tell Michaela all the time, it's just, you can't compare though. I think you've gotten better.
I have,
because I explained to her the last time.
Inspo now. I'm like, I can be like this.
Yeah, but I tell Michaela all the time, it's like, you have to remember, one, I'm older than you and in different area of life, but two, like, I dropped out of college and spent my years like grinding and working. I technically, not only am I older, but I got into the workforce a lot earlier than her. I think
it was like 6 years, right?
Yeah, no, it's like 8.
8?
Yeah, because you did 4 years of college and then I'm 4 years older than you.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, I've got 8 years on you.
Yeah.
So you putting your pressure on yourself to be similar is not fair on yourself, and it's just going to get her in a bad mindset, because it's like, I'm 8 years ahead, because I'm 4 years older and I have 4 more years of being in the workforce. So it's just different.
Every bold business move comes with risk. But the risk of playing small is far greater than the opportunity that is out there for your 100%. Business. Yeah. And I feel like you've seen that firsthand with some of the moves that you've had to make.
Yeah. And I don't make moves because someone told me to or what someone else thinks of it. I make moves because I want to try something.
Yes.
And I want to see how it works. And if it fails, it fails. That's okay. I probably learned something from it. Yeah. But make moves for yourself and what you feel good about, and have the confidence to do it. And
the right people are going to be attracted to you, or they're going to be repelled by you. And you should thank the good Lord for the fact that people are going to be repelled by your business because they were not going to be aligned with you anyway. They were going to be time wasters for you. So I want to kind of close it out with this, that the right people will feel empowered by your clarity, and the wrong ones will feel offended by your confidence.
100%.
And I feel like that is so good. That is a Michaela original, and I'm really proud of that one.
So we're giving you permission. It's okay to not be liked. Go for what you want, what's in your gut, and have confidence with it.
And what's one decision that you made recently that was so hard for you to make, but you know that it was right? Because you need to hold on to that and be like, okay, I did that one hard thing. And if you continue to do those hard things, they begin to stack up and they become easier as you go. 100%. Your job isn't to be understood by everyone. It is
100%.
to build a brand, to build a business, and to build a life that makes sense to you. Not a life that makes sense to your parents, to your siblings, to your coworkers, a life that makes sense for you and for your family, whatever that looks like for you. So if this hit home, DM us. We want to hear about those moves that you're making, the feathers that you're ruffling. Please let us know. You can like and subscribe to us. Please leave us a comment, review, whatever makes sense for you. You can find us at Rise and Refine Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, or you can check us out on the brand and web design side at refinemarketing_. We hope that y'all enjoyed this episode, and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.